Hey guys, get my 6 much more clearly now than you've ever been able to do. Is that a new X right there, just inside the edge of our woods? Where before this weekend, before strange events took place this weekend, we could easily access the Bigfoot Sasquatch lair? Yes, and it's not just the only new X out here. Okay, and here's the second new X that showed up this weekend. If you'll remember, if you've been following the saga, you know that 10 days or so, maybe 2 weeks or so ago, I came through my property and I removed all the X's that potentially may have been laying out by him, her, it, or they as a way of saying, you know, no borders here. Let's have open borders. And this one throws me, though. I'm confused because it's getting dark out here, as you can tell by the zenith behind me, and so I'm looking and I'm listening, and I want you to look and listen with me. But they put this X behind the gifting tree, and I'm taking this as a mixed message. I mean, it's like, come on, Bigfoot Sasquatch. Are you trying to tell me I'm not allowed to come into your lair because potentially I got just a little bit too close for comfort over the last few weeks? And potentially I captured a few things on video that you would rather I had not? Yet at the same time, you want me to continue to give you delicious hard-boiled eggs as gifts? You still want my mint chocolate Twinkies? Because if I were to think otherwise, I would have thought you would have put the X on my side of the gifting tree. So that's confusing. So that's some updates. But here's another update. You've probably noticed how clear the images are now that you're viewing in these videos. The reason why is because I've done 2 things I never thought I'd do. I've retired my flip phone. Not so much intentionally, and I'll tell you why that happened. And I purchased for myself something I've gotten for my wife before, but finally for myself, I have decided to join the 21st century and bring the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch that may or may not live in the woods behind my home into the 21st century with me for you by purchasing the new iPhone 11 and recording, uploading, and publishing all the PBS potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show videos going forward in 1080 high definition. Now, it's not because I'm trying to prove anything to anybody watching these videos, and it's not because of why I retired this. I will explain both in detail as we walk and talk and go further into the forest past this X. We're going to ignore this warning, and we're going to go back in here and make a PBS S in high definition and see what we may or may not see. Get my 6. Silly gray squirrels. They sound like baby potential Bigfoot Sasquatches up in the trees growling. But that was not. For the record, that was a silly gray squirrel. Okay, so here over the last few weeks, we've captured something or someone in some of these videos in the background that have actually caused a lot of people who have laughed us off in the past to take us seriously. Keep watching right back there at my 5 o'clock, okay? That's going to be your 2 o'clock. Man, where's my editing equipment? Well, whatever it was I thought I saw is gone. And I saw it in 1080 HD. Keep your eyes peeled right there. Okay, I don't care. I've never claimed to see anything out here that I haven't seen. I've always talked about the potentialness of something that may or may not exist living in the forest behind my home. People who put words in my mouth and laugh me off, that's their business, not mine. What other people think of me is absolutely none of my business, and I've never cared. I'm trying to look away from that spot, see if I can get it to come out. Let's go back around this way some. Okay, but that one video in particular, when we went way back up in here and discovered that lair, has been getting like, it gets like 1,000 views an hour every hour of the day on the weekends, and like 400 or 500 during the week. It's just really killing it. Now here's the thing. There are two ways to get views like that on YouTube videos. The biggest way, the best way, the most preferable way is when YouTube decides to feature your videos. That's not the case with this video. Only something like 7% of the views. Okay, I just very distinctly heard loud footsteps and twigs snapping and breaking where we were just watching. I must have panned away too early. And then there's the second way, which this is the first time this ever happened for me, and that's when people who are particularly interested in a particular topic, such as the Bigfoot Sasquatch phenomena, keep coming and coming and coming to your video by way of word of mouth. And that's, they call it the browse feature. They're looking for it for some reason. This video, a lot of people are choosing to watch it, and that's the case here. It's like 70% or something like that. I haven't looked at the analytics since this weekend, but now with that said, why am I saying that? Because we get a lot of people that are always like, you need to record in high definition. You need to do 720 or 780 or 1020, 1080, whatever it is. Why are you doing 360? Are you trying to hide things? I've never tried to hide anything. But guys, I'm going to tell you something. We captured something in the background of that video that frankly, I didn't see it when I was out there recording. It's where I was talking about how beautiful the mountains are, the Blue Ridge Mountains here in Virginia. In the fall, I was showing you the fall colors, and I was just doing like a 360 turn to show you the leaves, and it appeared as if someone or something walked down over the hill behind me about 40 or 50, 60 yards away, something less than 100 yards away, and I didn't see it at the time, didn't catch it in the phone. Maybe it was because we were using 360p, I don't know. But then my trail cam went missing. Then I finally uploaded and published that video, and you guys who were getting my 6 were the ones that came on and said, OMG, it's something that would look like that, but we caught it moving, not just sitting there listening or peeking at us. How far away is that? 150 yards probably. I'm not going up there. Listen, they get emboldened at twilight. This is the zenith back here on the horizon. As of right now, I mean, I'm publishing this later, of course, because I have to upload it, but it's 10 after 5. It's going to be dark in about 12 minutes where I am, and I'm not going that far up in their lair this close to dark. No, I don't have a flashlight. I've been laughed off for that. This guy never has a flashlight. All he's ever got in there with him is a stick. So anyway, when I saw whatever that may or may not have been, I just thought, you know what? Some of these people have a good point. Perhaps I should start recording in higher definition so that I have a better idea of what is out there living in the forest behind my house. Potentially. So today is actually our first time to do that. I mean, I went down there to the Verizon store and the flip phone. Why? This has nothing to do with the flip phone because I've never recorded videos on that flip phone. That's just my phone for calls. I don't even text. You know, it's like my wife has my cell phone number and my kid's school has my cell phone number. And the IRS. and the mortgage company. A couple credit card companies. But anyway, you get the point. I don't use it much. But here's why it's been replaced. On Halloween, I just saw a bat. On Halloween, I came out here to make that video, which we snuck up on this critter. We got real close. It's like it started charging out of the woods at me, and I took off running. Well, at some point during that excursion, I dropped my little flip phone down there in the field. And I've had this one. Dang, I didn't even see that X until now. Must have been because I was recording in all that 360p. So anyway, we got a torrential downpour on Halloween night. They canceled Trick or Treat, had it the next night. That's how bad the storm was. And I couldn't find my phone for a week. Took me a week to find it. So it was sitting out there, getting flooded, getting ruined by water. Finally found it, and it just won't even turn on. So I'm like, well, I got to go get a new flip phone. And I was going to just go to like a grocery store and get one and do that prepaid load thing, because that's what I do. But my curiosity has gotten to me, and I want to know a little more about what may or may not be living out here in these woods. So I said, why not? Let's do it. Let's join the modern era of video technology. Get the latest, greatest iPhone 11 and record in HD. Give the folks who are always so faithfully and loyally getting my 6 a better view of what may or may not be back there anyway. We're running out of light here. Oh, I saw an old stump sitting here, so I came over to sit on it. Because, guys, we're running out of light. It's getting dark quick. And again, the only reason I saw any of those things in those videos is because you guys watch these things. You give me timestamps, you give me descriptions. Gonna have to wrap this one up because it's getting too dark to Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of these woods. Something's out here and it's getting closer. So guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of the PBS S. The very first high definition episode of the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show. And make sure to come back for more. What, is that an X? My gosh, I guess it is. More clearly going forward.